Nice.
We're podcasting.
We're podcasting.
Yeah.
Me and the old fellas
That's right.
have taken a trip to the old
I'm
people's home.
34.
Oh, we're the same age.
We're the exact same age, and we couldn't have more of a difference in stature and respect.
And lifestyle, I would say.
Yeah. And lifestyle,
but I have the life of like a 50-year-old in the 50s.
Yeah.
Like at weekends,
Right.
I'm wearing slacks.
Yeah.
And I'm telling people to get out my pool. That's what
Like Eisenhower's America.
That's my life.
Yeah.
And it's not accidental. The longer I live it, the more I go, well, I am kind of, I want, people are coming around in the summer and I don't know who any of them are, and I just want to have a beer and talk to a bloke about his bonus this year.
His bonus.
How many days leave he's getting.
That's right, okay, we're doing this.
Right.
And what are the kids doing? I don't know, that's not my...
That's not your concern.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking to Greg about his bonus.
That's right.
It's not the same as it was last year, and I don't know why. But
Yes.
But I'm about to find out.
I'm about to find out.
I like the idea of you in a garden and you're sitting on your little plastic chair and there's another free chair beside you and it's a big party, but there's only you talk to one man at a time, and they kind of
you're never in a group conversation.
No. And they rotate in and out, and they have to bring you a beer to kind of sit down and talk to you.
Yeah.
And they have to come.
They pay their tributes.
Yeah. And then they have to come with real life information.
You come to me on the day of my daughter's
very much that. That's
OnlyFans launch.
Yeah, and exact numbers of their bonus, like how much.
Whereas they sit down next to you, and then you're essentially Guy Gomer. You're like,
right.
My bonus this year, technology.
Have you seen the guy, the Why Are You Gay guy, has started doing podcasts?
No.
He's out and about. I was thinking,
is it called the Why Are You Gay podcast?
No, he was like guesting on somebody else's podcast.
Oh man!
And he said when he booked the guest, it was a woman, and then they showed up as a man, and he was like, that's why I come across so crazy, because he didn't know what to do. He don't.
That's what that clip was about.
Yeah.
Oh man! Do you know what? I almost don't want to know what that clip was about. I want to leave it.
Why are you gay?
Oh yeah. Why are you gay?
Because I've got a joke. Just essentially, it's just so I can say that every night of the week. I just want to say it on stage. Why are you gay?
Yeah.
You are gay. Yeah. You are transgender.
Yeah.
That's great crowd work.
It's great crowd work.
Why are you gay?
Yeah.
The great thing
you
is
have to say it in the voice.
Why are you gay?
Why are you gay?
It's less offensive in the voice somehow.
Weirdly. Yeah. Well, this is what
there's an innocence to the voice.
Well, this is.
It's just sheer curiosity.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
there's no prejudice. It's just what like.
It does flip when the accusation comes. You are gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's more that it's it's the thing that I've learned is that if you add more offence on top of offence on top of offence, he can't possibly mean this.
Right.
So it's obviously fun.
I was listening to an old Kitson show recently where he was talking about like ironic racism.
Yes.
Which is, he called it the white man's burden.
Yeah, exactly.
He was like, you just have to keep getting more, because if at any point you back out, you go like, oh, I was just joking. That's what racists say.
That's what they do when they feel they've overstepped and they haven't hit their racist
And then Kitson's
mark.
thing is like, and then I'm blacked up wearing white gloves going, I couldn't possibly mean this.
It's exactly that. It's you have to go all in, never back down, never apologise.
Yeah.
And, you go, really? You think I'm this?
Yeah. But I think it also, if you go far enough, it shows how just stupid racism is. Do you know what I mean? It's just so silly.
Yeah.
Like it is. Obviously, the results of it haven't been hysterical, we'll say, globally, like historically. But it's had its moments.
Some of it's been funny.
Some of it's funny.
We discussed Idi Amin last week doing some funny stuff.
Right, he was cutting off people's legs, sewing them into where their arms should be.
Can I get your opinion
That was
on
a
this?
bit of slapstick.
Sewing people's arms under their legs under their arms. That's funny.
That is funny.
He was saying that. I would have found that
That's funny.
body horror. I would have found, if I saw my mother now and her legs were where her arms used to be, I don't think she's not getting a big laugh. I'm more kind of.
But how is she standing up on her? Is she standing up on the shoulders? Is she scuffling
I
like a crab?
I assumed alive.
Yeah.
Like, is she upside down but walking on her feet?
That's funny.
Right. Do you know what? Now that you say, if she was alive and well and had managed to, and she's trying to pick up a cup with her foot and she can't.
Look, a year after that all happens, if she's alive and well and she's scuttling about, you're thinking, that's good.
Yeah.
What's the crab want today? It's funny.
Yeah,
It's scuttling around like a spider. It's funny.
You start singing Under the Sea.
Yeah, under the. Yeah. It's fun. It becomes fun.
Yeah, do you know what?
What's that great? There's that Chaplin quote that life is a tragedy in close up and it's a comedy in a wide shot. Because the closer you are to something, the more tragic it is.
That's right.
But if you can remove yourself and look back,
just walking backwards from your mum's funeral.
Yeah, just
that's
right. Zoom out.
Yeah, just you're watching her funeral from a hill, just laughing hysterically.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to see it from up here, lads.
Yeah.
I could be there.
I completely agree with that. Yeah, you really had not to be there.
That's right. I found a little thing of that Chaplin thing in Barcelona in a little shop, a little square, you know, and they've done it, the art, the zoom out thing, and I have it hanging in my bedroom, and then when people come into the bedroom, I'm actually embarrassed. I might take it down.
What is it, like a cross stitching?
No, it's just like a little thing of Chaplin with that quote. But then you're like, that's a bit on the nose.
Is that inspirational quotes in your bedroom?
For a comedian to have in the
you're
bedroom.
34.
I'm 34.
Do you know what I mean? This is why I'm like,
this is what I'm talking about.
I know I'm the weird one because I know most people are 34 like you.
But I can't place your age. I think you're maybe 19 spiritually.
Well, I don't know.
You're a puppyish thug.
You're an extra small bully.
You're the energetic guy on a bank job.
Yeah, that gets everyone caught.
Yeah, yes. Right, exactly.
Right, by just taking too much glee and beating the shit out of a security guard.
Everybody jumps in and goes, go, 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 and you go, fuck, where are the keys?
I'm in another car down the road watching it all happen.
Right.
Calling the shots.
I'm still bludgeoning a security guard with the butt of my gun like, you fuck. And people are like, let's go, Mike, leave him.
Exactly. I don't make money without people like you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a wild dog.
Exactly.
You
You're
set
a wild
me on
dog.
people.
You're the mad dog.
I'm a mad dog.
Yeah.
But it needs very clear instructions.
Yeah.
Yes.
And doesn't really understand the motivation of the whole thing. Like, he just wants to enact violence. Some people were like, we have the money. We wanted the money. And Mike was like, oh, I just wanted to hit this guy.
Yeah.
I thought
that's
that we were...
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting something out. That I need to get out.
Doesn't even need paid.
Right.
Doesn't need a split of the bank. Just needs to be allowed to
big
hit
plate
people.
of sausages and mash. And I'm fucking... And you've taken millions and you give me this and I'm fucking...
I love this job.
Fucking brilliant.
I love this job.
Best job in the world.
Best job in the world. Look how many sausages there are on that
That's
plate.
right. Finn takes care of me. Finn takes care of me.
You eating sausages and mash in this weather?
Me? Big time. Big time. Yesterday I cooked for the week. Wasn't sausage, but just chicken, potatoes, carrots and broccoli in a big, massive plastic tub of it.
Oh, so you do that thing where you have
meal prep?
10 tubs and you fill out a little...
No, I don't do the 10 tubs. This will do about 3 dinners.
So you just have it in a bucket in the fridge?
It's fucking in the fridge,
You have like a slot bucket.
Slot bucket. I feed myself like I used to feed cows on my farm. I view myself as a kind of a livestock that I own. You know what I mean? I view myself as a cow that I own.
Yeah.
And that needs to be fed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I slop it out.
Would you say that perspective, that's almost like a prison?
Yeah.
Absolutely. In your mind? Can you never
100%.
break out of the fact that you are just a cow?
I
That
think
you
it's-
also look after?
We've spoken about his bovine nature many times on the podcast.
Right.
That's
but I
right.
think
Yeah, and I think even when I said earlier, I was like, oh, shitting's lovely. I think part of me that says that is like I grew up and I would see the glee a cow would take in a shit. You know, they're like just, it's glorious, spraying out their arse and they're happy.
Because it seems to me that they don't, the pleasure of shitting would come from the sort of effort and the catharsis of the rectal muscle group.
Right.
And a cow, similar to a horse, just seems to fall out the back of them.
Yeah, very passive.
Right. But there's something, if you look deep into the eyes of a cow, which I doubt you've done.
I haven't. I have had an experience. It's actually in Phil Wang's book.
Right.
Where it's on my
Very
stag.
few of my experiences are in Phil Wang's book.
He's ignored me in his book.
Has he?
Absolutely ignored me in his book.
We've been snubbed from Phil Wang's
in
book.
Wang's little smutty fucking money grab.
Wang's money grab.
Yeah.
That famous airport book that Phil Wang wrote. No, he was on my stag do, and we
Diversity hire or?
yeah.
Just
the optics of my stag do. You know, it's obviously we're going to Dachau, we're going to Auschwitz. No, we were in Somerset, and we'd the activity that my mate had booked was like a brewery tour, a local brewery tour. We're in the house in the middle of nowhere, and we were all obviously completely fucked from the Friday, and on the Saturday we wake up and we're like, well, let's have a walk. It's like an hour and a half walk through some fields, get to the brewery, then we'll just be at the brewery and we'll just get pissed and we'll walk back. Beautiful weather.
Yeah. Stunning.
So we start walking, and then it's like, middle of nowhere, so you're going through stiles and it's not really clearly delineated paths. And then we get to this field of cows, and the hive mind of cattle,
yes,
terrifying. They're one of the few things that
exhilarating. Also,
he's born with it. I do have a fear of lots of cows in a field.
But I imagine if you're in a field of cows, you act with the cat. They all look one way, you look with them.
That's right,
because you're plugged in.
That's right.
You're plugged into the herd.
Oh, 100%. It's like Avatar when they kind of...
You're in the school of fish.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm apart from that.
Yeah, and I would...
A different species, perhaps?
I'm a human.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I was with you then, and I stepped in the field, suddenly you would have become my enemy.
Dr. Moolittle.
Yeah. Dr. Moolittle, yeah.
Dr. Moolittle. Yeah. You would have turned.
I would have turned and just suddenly almost exorcist like at you and Wang and the rest of the your posers.
So but anyway, there's about 15 of us.
I would have went for Wang.
Me, Wang, Ivo, and a very, very hungover John Kearns are right at the back.
Right.
Kearns is struggling.
Yeah.
These cows didn't know the show that they were getting.
No. These cows, man, the lineup on this bill.
Unbelievable.
Kearns is struggling. Kearns is not a country boy, right? He's a city man. He's an urbane man.
So funny in my head, wig on, teeth in.
No. I mean, his act doesn't do well in the country, let alone him as a person.
Yeah.
He's a city boy.
Yeah, he's a city man. And so we go into this, we have to cross this field, and all the cows, there's maybe like 100 cows. They're all just staring at us, and then they all come to the gate, and they're like, it's like a weigh-in.
Right.
So we just go, I'm like, fuck it, just keep walking. And then we walk through, and I'm always like that. I'm like a British Victorian explorer, just chin up, walk, quick pace.
Slicing
no,
through
thank
the
you.
vines.
Just confident. Start
Don't
it out.
look back. Fuck off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the party looks back, and the cows have all surrounded John Kearns. Kearns has, maybe he stopped to tie a shoelace or have a bit of a sicky burp, and he's now surrounded by cows.
Right.
And we have to go back to get him.
Right.
Kearns and Ivo basically go, fuck this, and they go out the field and they try and go round, but the cows follow them across the other side of the gate.
Yeah.
And then they basically...
Well, they smell weakness.
Yeah, and then they run, John and Ivo, they run, get back into the field and start running up to us, but then the cows start just they're charging at us.
They're excitable.
And then we all start running, and the only person, Matt Ewins, the only person who doesn't run is Ewins. Ewins just lights a cigarette like a psychopath and just carries on strolling while this herd of cattle charge past him, all of us running for our lives. We're terrified.
He's like fucking John Wayne.
Yeah, he genuinely. Yeah. I mean, in so many respects, Ewins is the closest thing we have to John Wayne. And
I ain't scared of you cows.
Yeah, and we just like clambering over this little stone wall, and it's fucking terrifying. And we're basically attacked by cows. And then obviously we get to the pub, start Googling it. Several people a year die from cows
trampling by cows.
Yeah,
right. And the thing that make yourself big and go towards them, and they'll shit themselves literally and run away. Make yourself big, run towards them, they'll turn back. But if you run away, they sort of, I think it's a game.
If I was with them, I would have, even if you did that, I would have been like, don't be afraid of that.
Don't be afraid of that.
They're comedians. They're cowards.
Oh, so you would have
They're
been
song and dance men.
But then, no, it doesn't seem to me that any cow has taken the lead. That's what's terrifying. It's socialism.
That's right.
It's communism.
It's communism.
They are just plugged in totally. They move as one. They're like, it's not scary when it's fish or birds, but when it's cows, it's fucking terrifying.
It's mob mentality.
Yeah.
It's quite beautiful when it's birds.
Yeah,
a murmuration
and fish,
of starlings.
and it's like they make patterns.
Yeah. Right.
But with cows, it's just,
Does part of you in that situation think, as someone stiff upper lip, you're moving on, going past, and you think after that, Kearns is a liability. Kearns would have got me killed at war. If this was, the Somme, or this was somewhere, we're all dead because of you. Do you give him a dressing down?
No, we're just not going back for it.
Right.
In a war, we're not going back.
We're not going back. No.
Yeah,
Kearns is gone.
But a stag do, he's an Edinburgh Award winner. I mean, you can't. There's no way.
A double
Edinburgh Award. He's a pioneer. You can't.
No, it hasn't been done before.
Imagine the Chorlaw score. Double Edinburgh, the first person ever to win 2 awards.
He's your prize pig, really, on the stag is Kearns.
Yeah, he's the prize hog.
He's your prize hog.
Yeah.
You're showing him around at the pubs with his little...
When all the photos come out of what we did, he's
Yeah.
well, John Kearns was there.
Right.
So
he's there with his 2 little medals, his Edinburgh medals, on his little thing.
Yeah.
Holding both awards
Holding
in the
both
field.
awards.
in
Wang there
Somerset.
with his book, you're trying to shove him out a picture.
What have you got against
I
Mike
don't know, nothing. I've never met him. He's just doing well. It's fun to have, a go of people who are doing well.
Yeah, sure.
Very
sure.
much so. Very much so.
But what I was going to say to you, Finn,
Well, we should introduce that this is Finn Taylor on
everyone
the podcast.
knows that, we're all right on that one, I'd say.
This
Well,
is a soft start podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is like
real.
Stasi stuff where you just come in, you just click record, and then they just start talking, and then you're like, oh, we got him.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's like
yeah.
that guy in that. Did you ever listen to that Steak Knife podcast?
No, I
Where
haven't
the guy
yet.
was interviewing this old British officer who served in Northern Ireland in the Troubles. And at one point, the interviewer from the BBC thing just goes, "Are you recording me?" And he goes, "Yeah, everyone gets recorded in
Oh,
my
no,
house."
yeah, I remember you saying this. Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
if you're in my kitchen, you're getting recorded.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That'd be great.
Don't be silly.
Yeah, of course I'm recording you.
Yeah. I do think, and obviously you are have this air of a much older man.
Yeah.
And we're the same age, and I truly feel like a child in your presence. But then,
Yeah.
But I do have that. I think I have that with a lot of people. But
I don't know what that is, by the way. I don't know what I'm doing.
I think it's
There's a stillness.
there's a stillness,
Yeah.
there's a confidence, there's a haggardness.
Yeah,
May
totally.
I say that?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
seem to have been haggard by life.
You've been through
And-
the ringer.
I've been through the ringer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kid. I mean, it's got to be kids. Got to play
Yeah,
into
but
it.
even I remember when I was 20 doing stand up, and someone finding out I was 20, and everyone was kind of shocked because there is just something, I don't know, clarity of thought, ruthless purpose.
Ruthless.
I know what I don't like.
Ambition.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Ruthless.
Ruthless ambition.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who has to go down.
They're all
For
going
Finn
down.
versus the internet
Yeah.
succeed, they will go
They
down.
will die. Yeah.
You're just whipping Pete.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
fucking producer.
Flogging them. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I've always had the.
Ruthless aggression, maybe.
When did that
Like
start?
the
Were you
wrestling
a
era.
teenager? Were you getting into pubs very early? Teenager who was getting away with it? Was it that you looked old, or
I think probably it's that school. Maybe it's that I went to school, and both schools my parents taught at, so I felt slightly apart from.
Right.
I didn't feel fully in the school.
We've spoken about this, and you were sort of untouchable.
Yeah,
You were loyal to yourself.
You're
Kind
you're
of.
the dictator's son.
basically.
A Juvelante.
I'm like Saif Gaddafi.
You
Right.
said this yesterday, and I sort of let you away with it on
Yes.
the record. But that's 2 days in a row you said Juvelante.
I've recently just come across the word, and
It's
I think
not a word.
What I
I've
mean
never-
is,
I've never heard of it.
What I mean more so is you're
Vigilante?
no, isn't isn't like Batman or Juvelante, or is that
Is it a Jewish vigilante?
yes,
Right.
yes? You are a Jewish man.
I'm
You're
not a Jewish man.
No,
No.
Why the hell do you act the way you do?
Stop trying to move on from what you fucked up this
Yeah.
What?
Juvelante.
Juvelante? Yes.
Because yesterday I just thought, he's just done a little letter switch
juvenile.
there.
It's a Jew who's working outside the parameters of the law.
Right.
Yes.
It's Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's Revenge Squads.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Brad Pitt and Inglourious Basterds like Margaretti. Like that.
Antonio Margheriti.
Right.
That's what I feel like every
We
time I
got
say
a
my
German
name.
who wants to die for his country. Oblige
Vittorio
him.
Angelone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Practicing in the mirror.
So I got that wrong, the word. I definitely did. And you know what?
And I let you away with it yesterday.
And it's unlike you to let me away with something, so that's nice.
What are you trying to call me?
Vigilante.
Right.
Yeah, as in, you had... you were outside you worked
law.
outside the laws of the school. You kind of roamed free, solving crimes, maybe perpetrating crimes as well, or kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there was also I did public. There's a stuffy school, so there was a public speaking competition that I did every year, and the first year I did it, I basically in the final, which is in front of the whole year, and the headmaster was judging. I basically just tried to do stand up as a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
And it was crass, obviously, and vulgar. And then the headmaster.
Can you remember any lines of it?
No, but it was like How to Seduce a Woman, but it was
Right.
it was just toilet humour. That's what the headmaster told me off in front of the whole year for crass toilet humour.
Right.
Gave me a real dressing down. Gave the trophy to the other team who were had no stage presence whatsoever. Then so I'm humiliated. Public sort of cancel culture.
Yes.
At age 13. But
A public
now I
stoning.
don't know whether he'd gone too hard because he was like a Christian man in a changing world, or whether the fact that my dad was a teacher there meant politically he'd sort of overstepped. I was then called to his office with my housemaster, and the headmaster apologised to me.
Yes.
This is in my first year at school.
The power.
So I'm just like,
off.
well, fuck this then. Fuck everything.
Right.
If the dictator has apologised to me,
Yes.
The system's collapsed
I'm
around
the new
you.
dictator.
And did you?
You're in the Matrix.
I'm red pilled within a year of secondary school.
That's right.
I'm red pilled.
Right.
So I
You
guess
were the top G.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe
Right.
that's why. But I don't know. Maybe it's.
And did you get filled when he says that apology? I mean, would it be a big power move to just like obviously the power is surging through your veins?
Suck me off.
You know, just shades of Napoleon.
Yeah.
Napoleon and other great men, Stalin. And then do you say what would a power move have just been like that you didn't accept? But did you accept, or did you say, how do you deal with that? Are you like, I accept your apology?
I think I just sort of I was expected to be told off more.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't. And he was quite a scary man. He's a big guy, rower, big square jaw. Had a really like a handshake that intimidated you with this sort of the grip.
I don't
Yes.
like that when people do
No,
that.
I'm like, fuck off, mate.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, what are you trying to do?
Yeah.
I,
I
don't
think-
like a damp square,
Oh,
but
no,
that's
they're quite
worse.
funny.
I think
Yeah.
I do that.
But
I think
when
I give a
somebody-
cunt of a handshake, and people are kind of like, "What are you
Yours
doing?" And I'm
quite
like,
but yours isn't deliberate. You know
No.
when you can feel somebody deliberately like squeezing the
yeah.
handshake. I'm
Mine's
like,
more Lenny
right,
Mouse
you
Man.
Right, you read a book about how to be good in meetings.
I just imagine your muscles are always tensed.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. A lot, but it's also like
You've got real recently electrocuted vibes.
that's a nice thing to say, but that's kind. But no, I think I do. I don't know if it's because I grew up in a farm or agricultural environment or what, but I'm just.
Well, your grip. I imagine
Others.
you gripped others before you shook hands.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Well,
Well,
were you doing much milking by hand, or were you attaching implements?
you attach implements, but what happens is sometimes a cow will have a bad tit. And
Yeah.
this is not like sort of kind of an immoral tit, but more so that there's like, not that a tit has bad ideas or anything, but that the fact that it's like full of like bad, like it's what's called mastitis,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
I've had to milk my wife with a sip. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
You are joking.
No, it's
You moved your wife in.
yeah, it's at the end of my special that I put out 3 years ago, or whatever. When you have a baby that's born premature, the babies come out and they need milk, but it's before the woman's tits have kicked in.
Yeah.
So you have to basically stimulate it, hand massage, and to get the milk to then inject into the baby via intravenous.
Right.
So, a day after my daughter was born, I went home and I got a bucket. Genuinely, because it
and
was
you have to get her
coming
on
out.
all fours so that you can get underneath.
Yeah. She had a cesarean, so she wasn't on all fours. She was
Right.
propped up in bed.
That makes it worse, but go
the
on.
angle was trying. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine a cow on its back trying to milk it. It's
tough.
It's
It's a
tough.
fool's
It's
errand.
tough.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
reason that nature and man,
Gravity.
it's all designed. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So it was difficult.
Yeah.
But,
And what came out was it a
And
kind
she
of
had a bad tit.
she was fighting against it, struggling.
Right. She would.
Yeah. Dong. The cow around the neck. She didn't like that.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
you have to. Yeah, it was very visceral.
Yes.
Immediately, you cross the threshold from like husband to we're
Farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much overnight.
You're a farmhand.
And
She
then
became
then-
livestock.
Yeah, and then livestock, and then your marriage is immediately different. Your marriage is immediately different.
Yes.
because you are.
You've milked the woman.
I've milked the woman.
But she has become to you what I am to myself. A cow.
Yeah,
It's sort of it's before. There's before milking and after milking. It's very like
Yeah.
nothing was the same. It's pre 9/11, post 9/11.
It's exactly that. Yeah,
Like
Very
if you kind of
relationship terms.
wanking it, that's me milking myself to a degree, and I have to be milked every once in a while, or I get,
That's what you.
or it goes bad.
Right.
But what I'm saying is,
You
And
got one
are
of
you
those.
using your hand or are you
you got
attaching an
one-
implement?
You got one of those machines.
I've got one of those little just.
But it's before milking. It's
Yeah.
you've got a breast pump attached to the end of your cock.
Yeah, and then occasionally I'll get someone to milk me, and that's
Yeah.
a treat.
Yeah.
Kind of a freelance farmhand to come in and help.
Big glove up the arse. yeah. Yeah.
But so what came out with it was what came out with it.
Colostrum, which
Is
is
that like kind of custardish?
Yeah, it's a yellowish,
Yeah.
thicker. The initial milk, which is incredibly nutrient rich, which is what the baby gets in the first sort of.
Did you get a
few
taste of
days
that?
Yeah. It's very buttery. Breast milk itself is very thin. It's almost like coconut water,
Right.
but it's
Okay.
sweet.
Ah.
But it's not a rich sweetness. It's not like cream where the sweetness kind of makes sense with the texture. It's like sweet water.
Yes.
The colostrum is like ghee, sweet ghee.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice.
Right. What's ghee when you're at home?
It's
Ghee?
like Indian
Yeah.
butter.
Indian, but it's a clarified butter. Is what the Indians cook with. It's what gives it that kind of
Because ghee in the south means vagina.
vagina?
Yeah.
Does it?
It does, yeah.
Sweet ghee. No,
sweet,
but-
sweet ghee.
More in the
and-
kind of Dublin, like they like, yo, showers your ghee. That means like, go on, showers your ghee.
right.
And splashes your hoop.
Right.
They call your arsehole is hoop and your vagina is
hoop I'm
ghee.
aware of, but ghee. Wow.
And then there'll be women shouting at you, suck me fucking ghee, you cunt. Suck the ghee off me.
So
And that'll be flirting.
Yes,
There.
you are.
an Irish man.
Sorry, I feel like I'm in an episode of My Therapist Ghosted Me.
An Irish man.
Joanne McNally, yeah, she'd be like, my gee's fucking on fire. My gee's so itchy. What the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
So an
That'd be-
Irish.
It's a
an
good
I-
McNally.
That's not bad, McNally.
That's quite a good McDonald.
Thank you very much.
An Irish man in India saying, "Show us your ghee," and they just get some butter out.
He's devastated.
I tell you, he wouldn't be that annoyed.
I paid
yeah,
100
exactly.
quid for butter.
But then the Irish love of butter is almost it's like life, isn't it? It
it's-
is. It is. It is the
Kerrygold
vagina.
is-
It's unbelievable. It is quite vaginal.
That's probably why they call the vagina ghee. It's because
Yes.
to them it's as valuable as butter.
And this is... this is...
A woman's pat of butter.
Yeah,
That's a good.
This is genuinely true. I know people in my life, and these are real rural people. So I am from a farm, and it is rural, but you go a few miles.
Because you're close to the town.
I'm close
You're
to the
touching
town,
distance of the town.
so I'm within a whisker of civilization. But if you go like miles down past
Yeah,
my road,
yeah.
the people become like teeth growing out their cheeks and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And I know men who would use butter as lube.
Yeah.
Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah.
And not that. And
No.
Why is my instinct that you would still use a knife?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To kind of like...
You could use a knife, whatever way you want to do it, but they just couldn't. It just works perfect. Works perfect, don't it? Sure, there's nothing wrong with it, and then when you're eating it, it doesn't taste half bad either.
Yeah.
That's what they said. Like, and these are people I know.
No, I know. I went to a wedding in
Yeah.
Cavan.
Uh-huh.
And
No, that's bandit country.
yeah.
That's, I mean, yeah.
And
The inmates are running the asylum in
Yeah,
Cavan.
so it was like a real diddly-dee church. I don't know what you'd say, but like the middle, like a top of a hill, windswept, and there's like a pub with a Guinness, a toucan, and that's closed,
Right.
But it's open,
yeah.
That's and there's the two buildings in this town, whatever it is, hamlet
Yes.
or something. And anyway, it's like it's my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend at the time's cousins, and they're like sort of urbane, maybe they're in Dublin, musicians.
Yeah.
But they're getting married in like where the family's from. And the
the Hills of Eyes.
yeah, the priest goes, now I'd like to say something about the role of the woman in the marriage. I remember once a woman came to me and she said, I'm sick to death of my husband. He doesn't listen to me. He doesn't show gratitude. So I said, well, you know what? I'm not going to press your trousers in the morning. I'm not going to give you breakfast. And off he went to work with his unpressed trousers and no breakfast. Do you know what happened? She got a call at midday saying he died in a car crash. Was it her fault? We'll never know. He says that, and then like this
During the wedding.
this urbane couple. This is as soon as he's just exchanged the rings.
Yeah.
Right, and then the bride and the groom are like, "Fucking what?" And there are little old Irish nanas in the congregation going,
Nodding. Yeah.
Yeah, they're touched by the spirit. James Brown comes on, they start singing. Yeah.
Oh, speak to me, child.
Yeah, fuck.
I went to a wedding in Antrim, so that's like DUP kind of heartland.
Yeah.
Up towards Ballymena, and that's where the bride's family were from. And there was it was very Presbyterian, where like
It's my speed.
I hate that. The church looked like a youth club. You like just nothing
Yeah.
adorning anything. A very plain room. Come on,
No.
get a bit of
Wholemeal toast.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you don't deserve white.
No.
And they were saying there was basically, and they're both like live in London and work in like the arts and stuff, and they're going back to where she's from for this wedding. And there's this crazy bit in the, and also my mate we called him a born again virgin,
Right.
because he was like a mad shagger and then like found the Lord, and then was celibate before marriage.
The brand Express.
The brand.
The
And
brand trail, as it's been coming known.
He became no sex before marriage, having already done lots of sex before marriage.
Which then you can't.
But the whole time he was with her for like a couple of years before they got married.
Nothing.
Sexless.
But then doesn't that.
Which is more impressive to be celibate, like after.
But doesn't that
having
make
already
her be like, well, hang on, you fucked everyone.
Right.
Are you going to marry me and you don't fuck me?
Yes, and apparently he was into quite like mad stuff. And it's just quite like he's very much the expert in the room on the wedding night.
Right.
She'd be like, is this normal? And he's like, yeah, put the ball in your mouth.
Yeah, we don't use the vagina. That's propaganda.
That's ghee. That's for toast. What are you
That's
talking
your
about?
fucking ghee. I'll be putting a bit of butter on it, but the asshole is where I'm going to focus on tonight.
But
No, arsehole on the wedding nights are bad. That's
That's fucking.
That's bad.
That's rotten
After all
salt.
the
Come on.
cake and
That's a
Prosecco.
spit in the face.
Come on.
That's a
You've
fuck
got your
off.
whole life to do that.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Right.
Not tonight.
Yeah. I like the idea of a guy sulking because she won't. The asshole tonight. Yeah.
But you're my wife.
You're my bloody wife. You do as I say. And the priest would probably have a little homily about it then.
Yeah.
And his wife, she wouldn't let
You
him
wouldn't,
put it
yeah.
up there. So the next day, he was found at the bottom of the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all the old ones just,
Yeah. Yeah.
you let it go up your arse as soon as
Just
they...
sort of moving the cushions underneath them. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, that's what you do.
As soon as the ring's on the finger, the ring's on the cock.
There we go.
That's what I say. But in their kind of like vows bit or whatever, the priest was like, and you will belong to him entirely and do as you're told, and he will instruct you on how to lead your life and guide both of you through the marriage. And you, the husband, will make sure that you give clear instructions. Was basically like
Yeah.
the vows.
Clear.
And there's just all these people from London, from like the music college I went to, being like, what the fuck?
They need clear instructions. They're easily confused. They can't park, so you have to park for them.
No metaphors.
No.
No double line.
No.
Straight down the line with these.
Non-fiction. That's
Yeah.
all they can take.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're thick. He just looks out to the whole country.
Thick. Women are thick. Anyway, enjoy
You
the
don't
rest
see
of
a
your
woman
lives.
up here, do you? Not allowed. Literally not allowed.
Hello. We didn't want to disturb the great grown-up Finn Taylor with a nasty bit of tour plugging and ad reading. So we're doing it here and now. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Upcoming stuff for me. I'm at the Edinburgh Fringe. Got extra shows in a big room, McEwen Hall, on the 8th and 22nd of August. Please buy tickets for those. It would be very embarrassing if it didn't happen. I'm also playing a charity football match in Belfast on the 24th of May. So get involved with that. It's at Seaview with Shane Todd and a bunch of like ex-footballers, Jermaine Pennant, maybe Yapstam, perhaps Ryan Giggs. Come along to that, all that shit. And other things I have coming up. I have work in progresses in the lead up to the Edinburgh Fringe. I have a bunch in London on the, I think, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 6th of June. A mix of Always Be Comedy and Top Secret Comedy. Search on their website for those. I'm up in Edinburgh and Glasgow. Those are sold out. Can you stop making wind noises while I'm plugging my shows?
I'm hyping your shows, brother.
With wind.
With wind. So you're
With
going,
wind,
you're saying
largely?
you're having a show and I'm going, shh. That's
Okay.
like, that's a sign off.
I have a work in progress in Leeds on the 9th of June. On the 9th of June, and I have one in Manchester on the 10th of June at XS Malarkey, and also one on the 8th of June, also in Manchester, with a lovely time. So get along to those if you would like to do that. I'm at a bunch of festivals in Ireland, at Kilkenny, at Ivy Gardens, and Belfast Cat Laughs Festival, so come to those. And then the Fringe, and then the tour will be on sale soon, and I look forward to seeing you there. Mike, what have you got going on?
Nice. I'm on tour starting in November, going all around the UK, MikeRiceComedy.com. Big rooms in London, Glasgow. Biggest room I've ever done, filling in Glasgow. Also coming Manchester, Liverpool, Newcastle, Brighton, Birmingham, Cardiff, everywhere, all over. Just check MikeRiceComedy.com. Get tickets for them. I'm also at the Edinburgh Fringe all August. Tickets are flying for that. Get tickets for that. I'm also going to be at these festivals in Kilkenny and Belfast and all this stuff. The Cats Laugh festivals, I'll be there. I'll have some whips and stuff a couple London whips coming up. Keep an eye out for them. Other than that, yeah, that's fucking it. Oh, Vickers Street in Dublin. Tickets on sale now. Get tickets for that. Also, tickets for Belfast, Kilkenny and Mayo are going to be coming this month. So check my website for that, Belfast people, because they've been on to me a good bit. Okay, nice. That's it.
Nice.
Right.
This episode is brought to you by Manscaped. As you well know, Mike,
yes.
Father's Day is just around the corner.
Right.
The 15th of June.
Yes, or Fritzel Day. Well, to me, he's the most famous father in a bad way, but when I think father, that's what comes to my mind.
In a way, also the most famous grandfather.
Yep.
But he was a grand/father. Like the grand was in brackets because he was both father and grandfather.
That's right. And I wouldn't say not in an Irish way, but he was a grandfather. That mean he was
I wouldn't say
all
that.
right. No.
Bad dad.
He was bad dad. If there was a movie like Bad Mom or those stupid fucking movies like I'm a bad mom or whatever, but this is just like
what
bad
movies are
dad.
those?
Huh?
What movies are those?
Just like I'm a bad mom. You know what I mean? You know the ones where it's just like bad teacher, and it's like, but that's actually Cameron Diaz, so I don't know why I'm doing the particular accent I'm doing there. But there's all these like kind of bad neighbors, bad mom.
Oh, I also forgot we're supposed
Bad
to be.
Santa.
We said we were going to do ad reads and different impressions,
Right.
Around the podcast.
Yes.
Would you like to do it, or would you like? Because I don't have that many impressions in my arsenal. I can do
Right.
like a couple, maybe a Jordan Peterson.
You could do it. Yeah, do JP. Go for JP.
It's you need to get into it. It's
Right.
bloody. It's bloody. We're not going to solve it overnight.
That's right.
It's bloody complicated.
Yeah.
Father's Day is just around the corner, and let's be honest, Dad does not need another coffee mug or pair of socks. It's time to give him something he'll actually use. Meet the Chairman
12 rules.
12 rules for life. Meet the Chairman Pro. Now, this isn't related to any kind of woke communist chairman
Mauer.
postmodernist Chairman. This is the Chairman Pro from Manscaped, the perfect Father's Day gift for the dad who deserves to look and feel his best. This isn't just any razor, it's bloody complicated. The Chairman Pro is a high-tech, dad-approved grooming upgrade. It's an electric face shaver that can tackle not only
Not
up to
like
5
those Islamist
days,
grooming gangs in the UK that Tommy Robinson
they
has
are
spoke of.
tearing the country to pieces, and the cultural Marxists are standing by and watching. The Chairman Pro it can tackle up to 5 days of growth and features 2 interchangeable blade heads. Whether he's cleaning up for golf, dinner, or just another accidental nap, there are very few accidents really at the end of the day. It's just a bloody trick.
It's a bloody trick.
The nap
from
on
the
recliner.
trans wankers. It's a word he'd never use.
Make sure he does it with
Wankers.
style. The Chairman Pro is perfect for the dad who taught you how to shave. And that's the traditional family unit. The father teaches the son how to shave, not the daughter. Daughter should not be
I read a story
shaved.
of a mother teaching a son how to shave. He bloody cut his throat.
She slit
died.
the boy's throat and
She
she
slit
died.
the boy's throat.
And it was the woke postmodernists.
That drank his blood.
Oh.
The postmodernist drank his blood.
It's to have him join over them. It's not entirely clear how many men, but they're saying 12 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and use code parenting15. It's gone from 20 to 15. That's woke. That's the woke modernists.
Well, in Japan, the legal age of consent is 13, and we got to say, do we want to be like these people, or do we want to, have adults fucking each other?
I would imagine that the code isn't parenting 15.
The code is parenting 20.
But it's 15% off.
It's parenting 20.
That's a great bloody impression, Cumlin.
Well,
and he's worked on it
we could do all
really
3
hard.
of our best impressions because you can do McMahon, you can do Trump, and I can do Peterson.
Right. This is a wonderful code.
And it's bloody.
15 is the greatest.
You must get into the details of it because we're not going to solve it overnight. The code is 20, but the discount is 15.
That's right.
And that's a crucial difference.
That's a crucial difference, one I've got in trouble for in the past.
I've often met a girl, she says she's 20, she's 15. I have a wonderful time. And I find out later she's younger than she said, but I still came, and that's, to me, what's most important. It's a beautiful thing to come in a child. But what we've got to do...
The point is, it's parenting20 at manscaped.com. That's 15% off your entire order with the code parenting20 at manscaped.com. Or if you need it today, you can find Manscaped at a store near you.
We've got to make our balls great again. We've got these hairy balls, these sweaty balls, some of them smelly. And what we've got to do, we've got to get them smooth and dolphin-like so they can be sucked on by the young Eastern European women who like... Let me tell you, these women, they like a good, smooth, hot ball, hot American ball right in their mouth. And you can gag them. You can gag a lot of these Russian women with your balls. That's something I've found. But
that'll do. They pay for a 60-second ad read,
Nice.
and every week it's 8 minutes.
Fuck them. Let me ask you this now, Finn. Have you been following the Kanye? Kanye's
Horatio sent me the new song.
Yeah,
and
that no one can sing.
This is going to be my point. Is that it's nice finally to have a rap song that it's not just black people who are uncomfortable singing along. And then I was thinking, well, it's nice to have, the front of a seat of a car. You've got a white guy and a black guy.
Yeah,
and the black guy's saying M-word,
yeah.
and then the other guy's saying, "Oh, Hitler!"
Yeah.
And then in some ways, it's like a modern day equivalent of Ebony and Ivory by Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney.
Yes.
In that everyone is experiencing.
There's something in it for everyone.
Yeah, because I should say, if you don't know, the chorus is just M-word, Heil Hitler.
Yeah,
which is a 3-word sentence. Is about as punchy as it gets.
That's right.
And
it's tight.
It's also funny to just rearrange the word order and see what that does to the meaning.
Yes.
Like N-word, Heil Hitler implies there's like black Nazis.
Yes.
And they're listening to Hitler, and one of them doesn't throw the Roman with enough vigor. The other one's like, M-word, oh.
Yeah.
But what's funnier to me, firstly, there's Heil N-word Hitler, which implies there's an N-word Hitler, which is, what's he doing?
Yeah.
But then my favorite is Heil Hitler N-word, because that implies there's a black Nazi that's gone to Hitler and says Heil Hitler, and then calls him the N-word, and then Hitler's like, oh, am I woke? Like, they feel you feel special when a black guy calls you the N-word, don't you? As a white person, of course, you feel like, oh, I've earned this.
Honor.
And I just like the idea of Hitler being like, oh,
that's cool. That's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that is all right.
I will say, like, amongst all this, I won't say it's my main problem with the song, but one of my problems with Kanye's kind of recent oeuvre, I think he's missed a trick of the Black Power Nazi salute. I think he could be going like that.
Yeah.
And I think that would be quite good.
I think you should do both at the same time.
One hand.
Because then people are like, what the fuck are you saying?
Right.
Because I think it's Tom Parry, from Pappy's. You used to have a joke. He used to have a great joke where you go up to people on the street and you do this.
Yeah.
And they've got no idea what you mean. But in a similar way, you do Black Power one hand with the glove and then Nazi with the other. And people are like, well, hang on, what are you saying?
I'd like to go in for a hug like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a real confusing gesture.
It is. Yeah.
The semaphore's fucked.
It's quite hard. Yeah. It's like one of those. It's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time.
It's hard.
It's quite difficult.
It's not supposed to be easy, though.
No, it's not. It's meant to be. If it was easy, it would have been done.
We'd all be doing it.
We'd all be doing it, but it's only Kanye.
That's right.
Yeah.
What I like about the song is the verse of the song is just about, like, he's just like, they won't let me see my kids.
I don't understand why they won't let me see my kids.
They won't let me see my kids, my children. Because he's obviously not letting. And then complete non sequitur. N-word Heil.
Yeah.
Which is also
Are you joining the dots here, Kanye?
Yeah.
You're saying what?
And then also you're like, well, I don't think this is going to help.
Yeah.
In the child courts.
Exhibit A, I arrest my kids.
Yeah. But he got a lot of, like, willing actors to.
Who are these actors in the music video?
In the video.
Yeah.
Who are these, like, 24 black guys?
Well, they're not. I think it's very clear they're not lip syncing. So maybe they're listening to a different song.
No. Some of them are in the.
Are they?
In the thing, yeah.
And they've got like wolf, but they've got their faces covered.
They all got these eyes wide shut masks
kind of
on.
Well, they've got like wolf heads with.
They do, yeah. But I'm almost certain one of them.
The music video I've seen, like, there's a lot of, like, that's your face and you're saying it and you're in the music video.
There's some lads like that and there's some lads with masks, and I'm almost certain one of them is Obama. I'm almost certain.
Yeah.
One of them's Obama.
Almost.
Don't ask me
you
how.
Listen, you can never be 100%.
You can never be 100%.
Even when he says it's Barack Obama.
But I can almost hear
Is it though?
Inward Heil.
Hey, folks.
Kanye, so he has that song come out. I do find it quite impressive how, without having put out any really good music in a long time, he has remained so unbelievably relevant. Is impressive.
Is he relevant though?
This is the question.
Or is he just loud?
Because nobody's paying attention. We were talking about this on last week's episode, where it was like, it's so funny that Kneecap are being accused of anti-Semitism when in the same genre of music,
Yes.
someone has a song called Heil Hitler.
Yeah. But there's an N-word in it.
That's right.
So Kneecap should say the N-word.
Also,
Yeah.
also if
They
they
couldn't possibly mean this.
yeah. Also, if Kneecap came out and said like, we have bipolar or something, I think people would be like, oh well, you know. Then it's quirky because Kanye kind of did that a while ago.
The kneecap
and it's
thing
like,
is that there's just an image behind them on the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which they've done on every tour show.
But
It's
it's
just
done-
like,
yeah.
And
this
it's
government
basically like-
supporting genocide, fuck
Yeah.
Israel, free Palestine.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
all it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then there was
And then there was the
footage.
kill your local MP.
Which was an older
which
thing,
is
wasn't
a
it?
funny thing to say.
Yeah, it is funny.
It's
but
a bit of fun at a punk kind of a concert. That's a bit of
But
like.
the problem
you
is
gotta
that
have to
but
kill someone.
But if you're doing something, if you're saying something serious about Palestine,
Yeah.
and you want it to be taken seriously,
Yeah.
and then you're also saying kill your MP.
Well, this is
you
your
can't
opinion
have it
on
both
comedians
ways
as well.
This is why, as a comic, you can't go
You
on
can't go on
question
Question
time,
Time, yeah,
because
yeah.
then suddenly people are coming to see you because they agree with you, and then you're being judged against journalistic standards. So you're fucked.
Is it
Right.
all satire or all serious? But then
Yeah.
like Chris Norris would go on and like speak about things seriously aside from his like satirical work.
Yeah, but then you don't, but you can talk about your. I think you can talk about your work seriously. But if you're talking about causes seriously publicly, fuck, what are you doing?
right.
That's what I think.
Yeah, so it's an interesting.
We recorded yesterday. Kind of the end of it. We do start talking about Palestine. Can come along, edit that out. You're right. We must stay insincere at all times. Most of the time.
Well, I mean, it's more just. I mean, it's fine on a podcast, but like,
Okay, leave it in. It's in.
I'm more mean.
Make it louder
I
at
think
the
that's
end.
why all this stuff happens is because
it's
people,
clarity.
Yeah,
Of like
it's
you're
like-
either taking the piss all the time. But then I don't know. I think there is room for people, and there are people who can manage both of
Shapeshift.
those things. But it's hard, and that's why I understand why people can't. Like two things can be true, but people struggle with that.
That's why
thing.
Jimmy Carr is just like bulletproof.
And Jesselnick as well.
Yeah,
It's like-
because like when they dig up a joke, it's like, well, yeah, that's what he does. He says the worst things because he can say them in a funny way, and people like it. And
Right.
and then you're talking about it as if he meant it. So this is pointless.
Yeah.
But then Jimmy also is like kind of like a self-help guru, kind of Tony Robbins type now as well as his new thing.
yeah,
Where he goes
that is
on
an
and just
interesting.
like, you've got to get up
pivot.
early and work hard.
Yeah, that is an
But
interesting.
he has tried to become Jordan Peterson as well.
you either die satirical or live long enough to see yourself become a sincere podcaster.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, that's what Bill Hicks would be doing now, isn't it?
Oh,
He'd be going,
the most sincere
yeah,
podcast.
it'd be awful. It'd be
A lot of
going,
people think he
okay.
is Alex Jones. A
Yeah,
lot of people,
I do enjoy that
That's a
theory.
fun one.
Yeah, that is a fun
I
one.
do think that is
Yeah.
a good fun one. I did a Bill Hicks when I just started out. There was this guy in my little town in Kilkenny who just was obsessed with Bill Hicks. He's just like, he tells the fucking truth. He's the only one who'll tell the truth. And then I was like, oh, fair enough. He's just like, the corporations are trying to colonize our consciousness.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, cool. So he would have this Bill Hicks night, and we would Skype in Bill Hicks's brother on this like live screen, and there'd be about 20 of us
What?
there. I just started, stand up.
Russell Hicks?
Russell Hicks would Skype in and do crowd work. No, Bill Hicks's brother.
Who is a comedian or not a comedian?
No, he's
Or
not a comedian. He just
a
come
guy?
up on this like live Skype thing, and then your man would go, his like name's like John Hicks or whatever, and he's like, how are you, John? And John would just be like, I'm okay, Tommy. I'm just here in Arizona now, and he's just like, it's great to have you here, and your brother meant a lot to us. And he just said, well, thank you. It's good that his memory's being kept alive, and that's great. And it's like, right, we'll let you go, Tommy. I'd say you have plenty to be doing today. He's like, not really, but and it's just like, well, we gotta go. And that'd be it.
I have 6 more of these Zoom calls.
And
to
20 of
jump
us
on.
would sit there while they'd have this little conversation.
and then it'd just be an open mic night.
Yeah, and then like people would get up on stage. I remember this young lad, this 18-year-old guy got up, and he was like, he like works in like McDonald's in the town and stuff, and he's like, and I never had any friends, and I always thought I was alone in the way I thought about things. And then I found Bill Hicks, and for the first time in my life,
working in a shop in Kilkenny,
and I felt I wasn't alone, and this, and he started crying, and then I think we started clapping maybe. I'm not sure, we didn't know what to do. Just
Jesus.
Yeah, it was mad.
Your upbringing gets stranger and stranger. We've been podcasting for over 2 years now.
Yeah.
And every time you bring up something that happened in your childhood,
yes.
like you've had speeches from Bill Hicks's brother and
That's right.
a serial killer.
Yes, the border fox Desi O'Hare, who's killed 33 people, gives us a speech when we were on pilgrimage in Medjugorje. Yeah.
When did you move to London?
3 years ago.
But he's lived all over it. He started comedy in Chicago.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah,
I was in Chicago and then Dublin and Barcelona.
But see, this is
and
what
Berlin.
I'm trying to work out why you don't seem 34, or why we don't seem the same age. And you're travelled.
Yes.
You read.
Yeah.
So what? So
He meditates, he runs.
I think
Yeah.
that there's for one thing, there's probably a chaoticness.
there's a wildness.
There's I mean, that's a kind way to put it. I'm a window licker. Like, I'm not, honestly, this is the one thing I can do is kind of do a bit of podcasting and comedy, and most things outside that are quite overwhelming, and it's tough to get things done. Like my room, every time I walk into it, I'm like, this is a fucking disgrace, and I just can't
You
do
were on
anything
top
about
of
it.
it for a little bit. You got a rug.
I got a rug, and I thought things would change, or that would kind of reset my mind in some way, and just into order.
You thought it was going to tie the room of your life
And
together.
then I bought curtains, but they didn't fit the right way up, so I had to turn them on their side and hook them, so they're these kind of Frankenstein lopsided
you ever
curtains.
thought about just paying someone to sort it out?
Honestly, that's my next move. Is I'm just going to outsource almost everything in my life.
I think that is
almost
I think that's the
everything.
play.
Yeah. Just and then someone, because even I was looking at, and I have all these books in my room, and I'm like, it's a disaster. They're all over the place, and then someone's like, just put up shelves. I was like, I wouldn't even know where to start with that. How would you do that? Just like,
I put up shelves once, and I was expecting to feel really proud of the shelves that I put up, but I just was so stressed that they were going to fall down.
Yeah.
At all times, I was like, "There's no way I've done that right." And then they fell down.
I'm awful at all of that. My wife does it all. She loves
Right.
it. Absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
I
you,
get so
it's
bored.
good we've
I
got
get
the
so
women doing that
bored.
stuff.
Yeah.
So bored.
Right. I remember I heard on a podcast once about you talking about decimating a boathouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Fuck,
that was fun. To destroy things is fun.
Oh, it's a great day.
I don't think I've ever been in a boathouse.
Well, it's one of the schools I went to, but my summer job there was I worked grounds maintenance. So
Hagrid.
basically, and it was
You aren't unlike Robbie Coltrane aesthetically.
Yeah.
You're a thinner man.
Yeah, currently.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got that in me.
But there's a fatness to you.
Well, I was a very,
aura-wise.
very fat kid.
Like how fat?
Big.
Like a big boy.
Big boy.
Big buttery boy.
Big buttery boy. Pats of butter in my pants.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Do you carry that with you on some level?
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. I never really lost the weight. I kind of got taller.
Yes, yeah, you stretched upwards.
So I sort of mentally, I can, if I'm feel like I've got, certainly since I've been with my wife.
Finn's been the same
I'm
weight since he was 9.
I'm tightly controlled. So there are clothes. I have a Chelsea shirt that I still wear to football, and it's big on me now. And I had it as an 11-year-old.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's fucking huge.
Right.
And it
Like
was
an adult.
player
It's an
fit at
adult
age
large,
11.
Yeah.
and it was the only thing I could get in as an 11-year-old.
Imagine how funny you were then, because you're very funny now, but as a fat guy,
Oh man,
You must have been
untouchable.
absolutely-
Chris Farley.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you have a bit of athleticism to it, like he did? Do you know the way he could do a cartwheel
Yeah,
when
like
he
I
was
could.
fat?
I could.
Jack Black high kicks and things like
Yes.
Yeah, and I could dance better than people thought I could.
Wow.
I've always been better at football than people assume I.
Great touch. I love your
Yeah,
touch.
I've got a touch.
Silky touch.
Yeah,
that. We've
but-
started a football game. It starts today, a midweek kind of Wednesdays in Islington.
yeah.
If you ever want to get involved
Yeah.
with that.
Is it in the evenings or is it in the days?
Day.
Oh, perfect. I can do
3
it.
to 4.
Well, we're
Oh.
going to shuffle the time around, but today it's 3 till 4.
Yeah. Can you get me on the? Is it
The WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Get you
We're
up
very
front,
excited
high
about
ball.
it.
Yeah, I'm a Giroud-esque basically.
Yeah.
I'm little touches.
Hold it
I
up.
need runners from deep.
I'm
Otherwise,
gonna run.
Otherwise,
I'm
I'm
a
wasted.
runner. Run off you.
I'm a
I'm
runner.
wasted.
I'll provide that for
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
I promise. I promise you won't be left stranded up there, Finn. The cavalry is
You're
coming,
like
brother.
Heskey post Owen. You won't be left stranded.
don't,
No,
yeah.
that's no good.
On my worst days, I am like
Heskey.
late Heskey.
Nothing worse than last Heskey.
Yeah, it's sad. It's
Late
just sad.
Heskey.
You
Late
think-
stage Heskey.
Yeah, you think he was so devastated. I remember
Stage 4 Heskey.
Leicester City, stage 1 Heskey was
Wow.
unstoppable.
He was. He
Unbelievable.
was kind of like a Lukaku-ish kind of type of.
Yeah.
But he had a Rooney thing where he'd just run at people
Yeah.
and he had pace and he had touch and he could bang them in.
Yeah.
Physical, terrifying. And then late Heskey's like, what are you doing on the left wing? He can barely run
He didn't
anymore.
really know, his coordinates were mixed up. He kind of got lost a lot on the pitch, it seemed.
They just. I think the game had moved on. I think
Yes,
the same thing happened with
Very
Owen.
much so.
In that he was all about running in behind, and then when that stopped,
Little
and-
Mo.
yeah,
And also
Like, yeah.
his pace went because
His hamstrings went, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
once the pace went, it was like, oh, you wouldn't even get into our five-a-side team.
no, exactly. There's a theory. I think Jonathan Wilson, who's a big football brain guy, he wrote "Inverting the Pyramid." You read that? History of Football Tactics. Very
No.
good.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Straight
I
mail
could get
stuff.
into that.
Yeah. He has a theory that Premier League players have about 10,000. Is it 10,000 hours or is it 1,000 games? Maybe it's 1,000 games. Anyway, they have a limited time span where they can be at their peak, and whenever they get past that, they're just knackered because it's too
Right.
grueling.
Yeah.
And-
Rooney was knackered at 27.
Yeah.
27,
Yeah.
28, he was bet.
Yeah.
You could see it in him. He was just fucking wrecked.
Do you
Now, he
think
was
you're-
boozing like a sailor
Yeah.
Do you
on
thi-
his own in his house. Just
Really?
drinking bottles of vodka, yeah.
Was he?
Yeah, he said it in a documentary later. He couldn't hack the pressure.
Wow.
And he'd have a few days off. He'd just sit playing FIFA, big bottle of vodka, get absolutely
But that's what
fucking
Maradona
lashed.
used to do. You seen
Yeah.
the Maradona film?
It's unbelievable.
Brilliant film. But basically, in a sort of Naples, late stage at Naples, he was, he'd win the game, he'd do
That's
something
Maradona,
amazing.
by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, what?
That's Maradona.
That's
Oh,
Maradona
is it?
right there, brother.
Somebody
yeah.
3D
The goat.
printed it for
The
us?
goat.
Yeah.
He would, he'd win the game, do something amazing, go out on the piss for 3 days, and
Yeah.
then he'd have basically 3 days of on a treadmill, oxygen mask, steam room, ice,
Yeah.
cryotherapy, everything to get
Yeah.
him back to the game, and then
Yeah.
the whole cycle would start again.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And what was great about it, he would go out after they win the game and he was just, for 3 days, he was with the cast of The Sopranos. He was with
Yeah.
like the Italian
Yeah.
crime families,
Yeah.
shagging an inordinate amount of women in that amount of time. He's a great little dancer. There's a little
Yeah,
footage
yeah.
of him and he's like,
Yeah.
whoa,
The hips.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
It would stir something even in the straightest of men,
It
you
would,
know,
yeah.
looking at it.
Watching Maradona play football is yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you surely that, in my mind, puts him ahead of Messi in the fact that, all right, yeah, Messi did it,
I like
eating
the
fucking
tis- I like the
asparagus,
tism.
and you know
I
what I
like
mean?
the autism of Messi. It's
like,
very...
yeah, but him eating carrots and fucking stretching and all that, yeah, but do it in 80s Italian football
But this-
when you've been doing coke for 5 days
And also,
of the week.
2-footed tackles illegal.
Completely
Yeah.
illegal.
Assault is legal on the football
Encouraged.
field. Yeah, exactly.
Maradona got kicked up and down the pitch. the cunt.
But I think modern football, I've sort of checked out because I just think it's got too boring.
That's right.
Because it's too systematized.
I think it's
and,
coming back because
They need
the
to get rid of
4-4-2 is
VAR.
back and there's
and they need to stop. I mean, everyone's playing the same. It's just
Right.
dull.
Also, you need more scumbags. Like,
Yeah.
you need more. Where's the fucking Vinnie Jones, Roy Keane, Duncan Ferguson?
even Jamie Vardy's
butting
gone
someone.
now. He was
Yeah.
the last.
Yeah.
He was the last great knacker there was
Yeah.
in football. Vardy. And even now he's kind of being like, oh, how are you, mate? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need scum. Like, remember, like, the tunnel stuff with, like, Keane and Vieira.
Pete chucking pizza each other. Yeah.
Fucking,
Whereas they're all like,
fucking
it's the
hate
same in
you.
basketball. They're all shaking hands and hugging before
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
It's
And it's
everyone's
just a bit
dick's
like-
gone soft.
Yeah,
What are you
because everybody's
doing?
jumping
Yeah.
teams.
They
And
do.
This is gladiators.
blah,
But,
blah,
like,
blah.
we have to believe the spectacle that you hate each other.
Because now the fans are the same. They're blamed for blood. But now
Right.
everyone's a mate on the field. It looks like makes the fans look like cunts.
Right.
And you're like, well, hang on.
Yeah,
no,
we-
we're trying to rile you up.
You
to-
gotta get into Scottish football. I think this is the next logical step for you.
Probably. I mean, the first game I went to was I lived in Glasgow till I was 8. So
Did you have a Glasgow accent?
Yeah, fat kid with a Glasgow accent.
You fat little Scottish
Fat little
cunt.
Scottish guy.
Man,
Yeah, till I was about 9.
you'd be such a different comedian now.
Yeah, I would be. I'd be like Raymond Mearns.
Raymond
Yeah.
You'd be fucking Mearnsy.
Yeah, I would.
Not a bad life.
Oh, great
Take
comic.
it.
Pretty good.
Fucking
Great
great comic.
And late career internet success.
Has he?
Glaze Gadda podcast.
Oh, nice one.
He's killing it. He's selling tickets. They've
Oh,
got a
that's
big
made me
podcast
really
and
happy.
everything. Yeah.
Like Jeff.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Innocent.
similar to Jeff Innocent.
Yeah. Nothing makes me happier than seeing those guys succeed online.
Deserved.
He just
So
hired a
deserved.
young boy.
Hey?
They've hired a young boy.
They've hired a young Jewish boy to get to
That's right.
make it all
a little
work for them.
jubilante to
Yeah,
go
a
in
jubilante. That's what a jubilante is. It's the guy that does Jeff Innocent's clips. He's a jubilante.
So good, so good. Let me just check what time we're on for. We need to
12.
sell our souls. 51. Will we do an ad read and slot it in after? That'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, wait, just on the football thing. Do you think there are two people with the same last name that have a more disparate fan base than Wayne Rooney and Sally Rooney?
Right.
Like I can't think of like two people. There's probably two Smiths. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That have like a Fred West, Kanye West, similar fan bases.
Yeah, similar.
I think that would do big numbers on something if you could get
Wayne Rooney and Sally Rooney.
to shag, if you got like them to, you know what I mean? Or just even like
a podcast together.
Maybe
I would listen to that podcast.
Watch that. Because also, it would be like Shrek and Fiona.
It would be like Shrek and
just
Fiona.
visually.
Yes.
Because she's so small and like frail and intellectual.
And
Like
his head is like the universe ever expanding. I think it is
So
going
big,
to. I think it's going
wide.
to break open. Just like.
Yeah,
honestly,
but there's nothing inside it. That's what's amazing.
It's
It's a
not
black
even,
hole.
It's not the top of his head that's getting
It's
bigger.
wider. It's getting the neck.
It's just like the cream of chicken out of it. Greg's chicken bake. That's what I think might
in his head
come out of Rooney's head.
Yeah, it's funny. I had this kind of, I don't know what it is, just this vision of very old. The kind of old white people that go to opera, they open their mouths and scrambled egg falls out. And I think that's the whitest you could, like some kind of privilege thing where you
are a
just
quiche. You just are a quiche.
You are
Yes,
a quiche.
you are a quiche.
You're quiche inside. I think.
If you slit your wrist, it's
and
just
quiche
like
comes out.
Quiche comes
And
out.
I think Rooney has. Yeah, you're right. He has pastry goods inside
He's
him.
pastry goods
it's the-
inside his
it's
head.
The filling of pastry goods.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just eating kidney pie.
Just chicken.
Yeah.
Some beans and a piece of bean and cheese melt.
The cheese,
He's
cheese
not just
melt.
being a cheese melt.
Melt
Yeah.
in his head.
Yeah.
But it served him well. Like it's like on the pitch. That's what you give him the ball, sausage, cheese, and beef.
Do you guys read Sally Rooney books?
I've read Normal People, and I've got it. That's it.
I read the two first ones,
Yeah.
and I really liked Normal People.
Yeah.
as in it was like very pleasurable to read, and then I read the other one, and I was like, I get it, and then I just. It's like the same book. You write the same book every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't read them, but I find this with like, I also just think like devastatingly sad fiction is like.
But it's not even devastatingly sad.
So the example I'm thinking of is Maggie O'Farrell, who I'm reading a lot of at the minute.
They're
but
20
it's like,
and they're shagging. It's not.
but it's like the you finish your book and you're like, good God, that was like, what an absolute ordeal. That was amazingly written, really like pleasurable to read, and then you like see the next one and just be like I've heard it's amazing, but I don't want to be sad again.
Yeah.
Like every night before I go to sleep, just being like, oh no.
Yeah, it's like watching 12 Years a Slave on every date night. You're like, fucking through this
Can
again.
we get a little? So I need to like the next one on my like I'm reading a Maggie O'Farrell at the minute, but next on my list is a guy infiltrating the far right. And
Yeah.
Very excited to read that one.
I think there will come a moment soon where I'm just done with. I've read the books I'm going to read and the movies, and now I'm just going to filter back to the ones I like.
I'm like that with music.
And that's
I think
why-
it's very hard to get new music past a certain point.
But Kanye broke through.
Well, yeah, he's obviously, I'm fair fucks. I'm a history buff. I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
It's laced with history.
Yeah.
It's
a historical
And
record.
He's also come out as that. But him and his cousin were sucking each other off. Did you?
Right.
Yeah. Did you?
Are you not privy to this?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh no, he came out and he was just like, just so you all know, till I was 14, me and my cousin were sucking each other off.
Said it like that.
Yeah.
Can we get the actual
And he got
tweet?
defensive about it, like just
'Cause
so
I
he,
need
you
word
know.
for word. It's wild.
And no one had asked him.
No one had asked him. There was no
called-
problem.
he
No one
called-
was like, "Hey, Kanye, were you?"
And then people were going like, "Did you molest your cousin?" Blah blah blah. And then his next tweet, or like fairly soon after, was like, "Oh, I forgot to say no homo at the end."
Yeah. Not gay.
Right, yeah.
But he was saying his whole thing was that he found his father's porno mags.
Yeah.
His dad's like, I think, like a preacher as well or something. These preachers are dirty dogs. But anyway, there's not one of them that's not a pervert. But anyway, he's looking through them, and then he was like seeing the pictures of women sucking the kyocks off of lads, and then he looked at his cousin and he said, "Have a look at that there and meet me in 5 minutes."
Right.
And then he had his.
Can we get the
Well, let's-
talking over?
Right. Let's get the official reading.
This song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told them we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's dick till I was 14. Tweet sent.
I mean, the pregnant lady murder's kind of glossed over.
It's
pretty
glossed
quick.
over.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just part
It's
of
an
the.
aside.
Yeah.
That's an
like
aside.
it's a little flourish.
Yeah.
Oh, he killed a pregnant woman. But
Also-
the main thing
I
is
think
that
it's
I
my
gave
fault.
him a porn mag.
And I don't think he's making things easier for his cousin in the joint. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that one?
He's already probably quite low in the pecking order because of the pregnant lady
Pregnant
side.
lady, that doesn't play well.
No. But then to have sucked,
Kanye West.
Kanye West's dick.
Kanye West's cock.
You might
they're like,
be,
oh, you do that? Brilliant. Well, you're the
Yeah.
cell block hole that we put our dicks in.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Whatever. Your D-wings hole. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, he's. You know, there is something. I saw footage of him recently. He's bringing the Tate brothers down to. He has this little like bat cave kind of Kanye, which is like this underground place where it's like you go down and it's just completely black, and then he has these massive screens, and it's just like big cavernous cave, and there's just like one seat in the middle of this huge like space, and he has like the Matrix like codes playing and all this stuff, and he had like Andrew and Tristan Tate down there. They're sitting there looking at the Matrix numbers, and the three of them it's absolutely.
Are they trying to say that they've kind of like hacked into the mainframe?
Yes.
But they're just
Fucking
looking at green letters.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
Because they've taken the red pill, like
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But so they're just showing that kind of visual
I wonder
representation.
what it would be if that film hadn't happened. What film would they have attached their worldview to?
The Truman Show, maybe,
Yeah, like
possibly.
yeah, because
You
the
know
whole,
what I mean?
the whole
Yeah, breaking
aesthetic-
out of the system thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
God
actually,
knows.
because you know, you could say the Matrix has got quite a lot to answer for our current state.
Maybe
of
that's
thing.
why they transition.
I think those.
Yeah.
Yeah, to try to.
Because no one ever talks about that. No, none of the fucking
No, they
incel-
sometimes do talk about that because they go like, as soon as they became women, the films got shit.
Right. What, as in the same films that they liked?
No,
Not the
as
new
in
ones.
the new ones they made since transitioning. The Wachowski.
Have they
is that
made
the
new
names?
Matrix films since the
Well, there
Transitions.
was 2 and 3, and then I think there was
Yeah,
one.
there was Reloaded and then
Reloaded
Revolutions,
and then-
but they were still men for those, I think. weren't
yeah, Reloaded and Massive Spastics, and then there was a new one like Matrix.
they? Matrix Massive Spastics.
Matrix
Was
Massive
it?
Spastics.
I missed that one.
Did you miss that one? That was
Yeah.
the best one, brother. Is
it?
Yeah.
Is that them trying to break out of the chair? And then it
Yeah,
doesn't...
Mr. Smith just goes full. It's crazy. No, but there was a new one.
Matrix Massive Spastics. Brilliant.
But there was. That's actually one of my maybe my favorite joke of Finn versus the internet was. Is there a Mrs. Crying Spastic?
Yeah. I can't remember if we... I think we might have cut that from the public edit. I
You
think.
did?
Really?
Just because
That's
I
so
remember
funny.
editing that. And
Yeah.
because that was in the one that we showed in the cinema where you were there, yeah.
Yeah,
but
so
it's with
funny.
that was that. Yeah, I was editing that, and the bit that I had to keep in was the little scene. So this is the TikTok crying guy.
Yeah.
who calls himself an actor.
Yeah.
and it was the scene where I'm Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
and he's found out that I've been cheating on her. I had to keep that in, and
Yeah.
then to just immediately follow that with Crying Spastic
It's
felt
a lot.
like a lot.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was a decision in the public edit of one to the other.
Right,
but
but
yeah, it's a shame because it's a real.
It's such a funny
pithy.
one. Are you single, or is there a Mrs. Crying
So
Spastic?
Miss Crying Spastic. But also, he just didn't. It like everything I said to him, it just bounced
Teflon.
off. Yeah,
Teflon
Yeah.
just had
and
no
that was the
idea
first
what
one we
was
did
going
that
on.
series, and it was
That was a great start to that record. We'll talk more about Finn vs. Internet on the Patreon.
Oh
Are you
yeah,
good
right.
to hang out?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah, sick.
I got at least half an hour.
Yeah, great.
Nice.
We'll hang out on Patreon.
Nice. Right, let's get to the Patreon. We're going to continue on.
Tours, Finn vs. History podcast, Finn vs. Internet.
and my stand-up special is going to be out soon.
Nice.
Great. Get on the special.
On YouTube.
Come see us on tour.
Sounds
blah,
unreal.
blah, blah.
All my tour is out. Mike Rice comedy out. Actually, we'll do it in the ad.
middle.
We'll do it in the
ad
middle
read
ad.
once you're,
Nice.
once you're clear.
All right, onto the Patreon. More stuff. I panicked at the end. I don't know what to tell you.
Stuff.
Yes, stuff. Nice.